Discover Arcana, where fashion meets music.
Hello everyone, we are here with Bastard Tag for our second ever Arcana podcast.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's go around the table, introduce ourselves, and get to know you guys.
My name is Front Baldmond. I am the bassist and singer of upcoming Bellingham punk band Bastard Tag.
And I'm Lycum King, minion to Front Baldmond. Never picked up a guitar in my life.
And not seated is Jacobs, our drummer boy.
Yeah, sad we couldn't have him today. I know he's off doing something.
Drum veteran of 48 years.
Yeah, he's an old guy.
So why don't we talk about your background in music? Do you guys come from a musical background?
Not particularly. My father sang in some choir, but he was more of an actor than a musician. And my mom played the trombone in high school and college, but wasn't a big part of her. More of a hobby.
Wow, trombone, huh?
Yeah. And I personally started with trumpet because I was forced into it in grade school, but I hated it. And so I got my parents to sign a little slip that said I didn't have to go to band anymore.
I tried trumpet in band. I think it was 8th grade. Couldn't get it going, I switched to percussion. So
Yeah.
I know the struggle there.
I wouldn't say my family is overly musical. We had a lot of, like you said, like a lot of people in my family played for a year. Like my brother played saxophone for a little bit. My mom played the flute. My dad played a few instruments, like played the bagpipes, I think, in the military. But other than that, no big musical endeavors.
That's crazy, bagpipes.
So he was in the Irish military.
Huh.
Need a bagpipe player, I guess.
Does that, I guess, influence your music now?
Bagpipes?
Shit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of bagpipe influence.
That's the idea.
So we learned how your parents got into music. How did you guys get into music?
Well, once trumpet kind of faded out for me, picked up a guitar, an acoustic guitar, and that didn't really stick. I didn't really like how that felt. And a couple years later, I got some bass lessons, which I thought was a lot more fun. And that was about 9 years ago. And I'm still playing.
Wow.
Still going strong?
I think, I don't really know. I had a lot of friends in like middle school and early high school who played guitar. I thought that was kind of cool, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll try that. And I was hanging out with a buddy one time who was pretty good, and he was like, oh, you want to try it? And I was like, hell no. I'm not about to embarrass myself right now. And I told myself, I was like, next time I come back here, I'm going to figure out how to play it. And then I had my buddy Aiden just teach me the basics of guitar, and it was about 6 years ago. Now we're here. Yeah.
I mean, it's so intimidating at first getting into it. A lot of, I guess, up-and-coming artists have that stage fright getting into it. I guess what helped you guys get over performing and, like, stage fright?
Performing, I feel like, I was like, no matter how bad this goes, at least I got up and did it. I was like, I would never touched a stage in my life until like 2 years ago. Just because I had horrible stage fright. But then got up there, did it the first few times, and I was like, all right. If anyone gives me shit, it's like, all right, at least I did it.
Right.
I was up there, gave it my all.
Yeah, it's definitely something that gets easier as you go on, just the more experience. But I'm pretty new to public performances as well, and stage fright is still something I deal with here and there. But I think as long as you look confident, you don't have to feel that confident, but it's all about the performative aspect.
Right, it's all about perception. Absolutely. So, you guys were in a band called Smithers
Allegedly.
prior to Bastard Tag. Do you guys
I don't
want
quite recall.
I don't.
to? You guys want to talk about your experience and maybe if you've played in bands prior to that?
I think let's explore that idea that if we were in Smithers, I think if anything, probably the takeaway would have been just as Front Baldman said, just like the stage aspect, learning the ropes and how to set up gigs and how to make things run smoothly.
Yeah, Smithers, it would have been my first real band had I been a member, and I think it would have been a really incredible learning experience. But I'm sure it would have had its frustrations and roadblocks, which it's all about working past them and working as a big group, 4 different minds coming together as a single organism to communicate something, and getting to that communication. The communication within the communication can be tricky.
I think just like learning how to play with other people well, and being on like a same practice schedule as people, making sure you're learning your parts. That was definitely a good kind of stepping stone experience. Like, okay, now I can take what I would have learned if I was in Smithers and put it into this new project.
And we heard you had some trouble posting to Spotify. Do you guys want to talk about that situation?
Some Russian poet maniac tried to steal our music. He poached a couple of our first release. I don't think it was just one, but on certain days of our release, our release days, it went to the wrong Smithers account.
There's a duplicate Smithers on Spotify, and for whatever reason, all our songs would get uploaded onto this Russian guy's account. It would always take him a day or two to fix it, but I don't know if it ever fully got fixed.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You guys weren't getting the appreciation you deserved for your music.
Exactly.
We were getting snubbed hundreds of thousands of those day one streams.
If not millions.
Not trillions.
I think Smithers would have had the #1 streamed song in the world if it wasn't for that Russian
Yeah, I do
guy's
remember
account
when he poached
poaching
that.
a couple trillion streams from us.
Yeah, it was devastating.
So when you guys transitioned from Smithers to Bastard Tag, how would you describe your sound now? Is there any carryover?
I would say our sound is still developing. I think at first it was kind of hard to break out of the box we had kind of laid for ourselves with maybe Smithers. Kind of hard to branch out at first, but then once you get the ball rolling and start introducing new sounds, it flows pretty quickly. But I don't know if I would have a word to define our current sound right now.
I think we're definitely faster. We're a little more upbeat. Not quite as sluggish, but there's some sludge there. Wouldn't call it grunge anymore. I've just been hovering around punk rock, but it's very broad terminology.
I don't think there's too much crossover. I think the only thing crossover would be it's alternative music still, but I wouldn't call it grunge.
So since you're still in this phase where you're finding your sound, what is your creative process like? How do you go in and find inspiration?
Well, I pick up the guitar for about an hour a day, and if nothing comes to me in that hour, I put it down. If something comes to me and I like it enough to play for another hour, then I bring it to front Baldmond here, and we jam on it for a little bit in our house. And then if we really like it, and we really start forming something, we can bring it to 58-year-old Jacobs, and it all just kind of meshes together. I think a lot of the riffs right now are coming from front Baldmond here, stepping forward with some little riffs he's drummed up on his little bass.
Yeah, my process is ultimately the same. I do a real basic warm-up for like 20 minutes, and then I play the songs we know, and then I'll spend a good half hour just dinking around, seeing if I can't find anything new. Once we have a nice riff, I usually go to Liam first, or like him. And if we find some substance there, we bring it to Jacobs, who ultimately has the final say. He's kind of the judge of the project.
Yeah, he's really holding the reins.
Yeah, but he hasn't been too harsh so far.
No. Only a few lashings.
So since you guys are still a fairly new band, do you guys have any goals in the future years or even coming months?
Well, we are hoping to get a full set list of original material so we can start playing a few shows maybe. I think we have a tentative show in October.
To be determined.
We really just need to crank out these songs, start exploring our sound, I think is the big goal right now. I think that's perfect that we have this 3-month period where we set aside for ourselves nothing but just songwriting, so we can really have a solid set list by the time we decide we want to start playing shows.
Yeah, the focus has definitely been writing, and it's easy to say the goal is more writing, because that should be the goal of any artist. But I am wanting to put forth some merchandise, because I think the image we've got for ourselves will be appreciated. And I'm also thinking of making little cartoons, which would be fun to
That
promote
would be
the
fun,
image.
yeah.
Little animations.
Yeah,
And how would you use those animations? Would
Probably
be for
just
music
Instagram.
videos?
Yeah, just
maybe
like,
a music video.
Yeah.
Maybe just
And maybe to contextualize the music a little bit, as
Yeah.
most music videos do.
So once you guys have a set list determined, you have a sound, a direction where you guys want to go. Are there any future collaborations you'd like to do? I know the Bellingham scene is quite active for the type of music you guys like to make. So
We've been in talks with known photographer Punk Polaroids. He does some vocals. We haven't quite found the sound that fits him yet, but we're working towards it.
I think seeing a bill with Zach Dowd on it.
Zach, that would change our lives.
I
How
would
would
like to
you
see
play with
that.
him?
Get Zach Dowd up on the main stage. I know he kind of gets recognized everywhere he goes, so he likes to stay in, you know.
It's our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to get him out out from his dungeon, maybe where the public can appreciate him.
Absolutely.
It would be spectacular to see.
All right, before we transition into our copper drop section of the pod, is there any final words you'd like to give to the fans, the listeners out there?
Quit your job, sell your car, send us all the money.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Great. All right, let's. So we're gonna transition to our copper drop section of the podcast. First up, we have the 3 Paradis overdyed trucker shirt. Now this is going for 650 euros. It's a European design. It's kind of interesting. It's a very bold color, kind of a matte shine to it. What do you guys think?
I'm dropping this.
Dropping this.
It's a Northern Light Canadian tuxedo for $600.
Are there pants included, or is it just the shirt?
No, just the shirt for $650.
So it's not even a full Canadian tuxedo.
No.
Okay.
Just the shirt.
I don't get that cool little handbag.
No.
Okay.
But this is part of their fall-winter collection, so.
I'm dropping this as well.
Yeah.
You know, I like to, I don't, that's a little too flashy for me, I think.
All right. We're going to transition over to the 424 Marathon boots in camo. Now, these guys are going for $920.
Now, that is an easy cop for me. They look tactical.
It is pretty tactical. It's got the zipper, easy
like
access, in and out.
Kind of an all-weather shoe.
All-weather shoe for sure.
Looks like, if you need to run into the forest at the drop of a hat, you'd probably be pretty well prepared with those. I'm copying those.
Yeah, I'm dropping these.
You're dropping these, wow.
They've got the texture of mud. They got the color of mud. They look like mud. I'm not putting them on my feet.
Enough said. Here we have the PDF Soul Mars Leather Confecto. Now, these guys are going for $416. Some slides.
The cheaper side.
These are coming out of Milan, Italy. So, high quality leather. Looks comfy. I know I've seen Lil Yachty and Drake sporting these around. See if that influences your opinion.
These kind of look like something Mickey Mouse would wear. And I hate Disney, so I can't bring myself to do it.
That's a no, huh?
I can't cop.
I'm going to defer to my fashion expert here.
Come on over.
Come on over. I'm really not in the Italian scene like he is, so I'm going to let him speak for me.
Yeah, well, as the resident Italian scene expert, I'm going to drop these, mainly because of the little info drop you gave us with the Drake.
Drake Lil Yachty.
I don't think that really helps sell it. I'm going to drop these.
Okay.
All right. Here we have the Berluti. Let's see if it loads.
Except some cookies.
There we go. The Berluti
Okay.
suede denim jacket. Now, this guy's going for $5,100. Oh, excuse me, 5,100 euros.
All right.
Now, this is not much to say to it. It's a subtle design. This is also part of their fall-winter collection.
I feel like I could find some, mid-end Italian pleather that would work just fine for half the cost.
Absolutely, but let's say cost aside.
Yeah, I could cop this.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking I was going to cop this as well. I think you could make a real nice, almost tracksuit look out of it.
I was thinking more Italian cowboy.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I see the vision.
either way.
Vision. All right, for our last piece. Let's see here.
Some Louis?
Yeah, this is the Louis Vuitton Technical Gaston Cap. Now, the thing about this hat is it's got a little lace in the back. So, if you're playing tennis, it's not going to fly off your head.
This is a personal cop. You can't actually see this, but I'm actually wearing this right now. I did cop this before the interview, so this is going to be a definite cop for me.
And this was completely unplanned, too. So.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about how cool
Actually crazy.
my associate's hat has been the past couple days, and this reminds me of something my dad would wear, like a street bike race hat, those sleek vertical lines and the white, blue, and the red. This is a nice look.
So, final thoughts.
Major cop.
Major cop.
I clearly
Yeah.
did.
I think I'd take off the silly little strap in the back, but the hat is pretty cool.
Losing tactical value.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
This has been a successful second episode of the Arcana podcast. For the listeners out there, make sure to check out our socials and subscribe to our channel for the latest underground fashion and music news.